A hair care routine can truly make or break your hair. We all know that if you want to achieve long, healthy hair, having a consistent routine is non-negotiable. It is not just about the product you use, but about the habits and care you give your hair every single day. So I get so many questions like, how do you care for your hair during the week? What steps do you take? So in this video, I'm going to be breaking it all down, how to build a natural hair care routine that is not just only realistic but also effective and sustainable. We'll discuss step by step what to do daily, weekly, and even monthly. And the best part is you don't need a million products, you just need the right habit and consistency. So if that's what you're interested in, let's dive right into the video. So quick side note, I originally filmed a sit-down video on this exact topic, but while editing I realized the background noise was just way too distracting, so instead I decided to redo it as a voiceover. So in this video you'll see me just putting my hair into a protective style while I talk you through on how to build a step-by-step hair care routine. Having a hair care routine that is tailored specifically to your hair type is very important, because just like with skincare, everybody's hair is different in texture, thickness, porosity, and even length. So what works perfectly for one person might not necessarily work for you, even if your hair looks similar. For example, whenever I share wash day routines or product I use, some people comment that the same products work amazingly for them, while others say those exact products don't do anything for their hair. And that's okay, because the truth is hair care is not a one size fits all. No two heads or hair are exactly the same. That's why it's so important to pay attention to your own hair, figure out what it actually needs, and then build your routine around that. So there are three categories when it comes to hair care. There is the daily, weekly, and the monthly hair care routine. For your daily hair care routine, it doesn't have to be complicated. The goal is to maintain moisture and protect your hair between wash days. Whether your hair is out like in a wash and go, or in a fro, or even tucked in a protective style like braids, twists, cornrows, and the rest, whatever the case, moisture and protection are always a non-negotiable. You want to make sure you're hydrating with water or water-based leave-in, because our hair thrives on moisture and water is the number one moisturizer. So you want to seal in moisture with a lightweight oil or butter depending on your hair porosity, okay, because this keeps your strands from drying out during the day, and also protect your ends. Your ends are the oldest part and most fragile part of your hair. Gently tuck them away in protective styles or moisturize them directly if they feel dry. Moisturize your scalp and edges if needed. A lightweight leave-in or even a scalp cream works well, especially if the protective style is long-term. And also nighttime care. Before bed, use a satin or silk bonnet, scarf, or pillowcase. Cotton absorbs moisture, but satin and silk keep your hair hydrated and reduce breakage. So if your hair is out like in a wash and go or in a fro, start your day by refreshing moisture, mist water, or a water-based leave-in. Optionally, if you can put your hair into like a chunky twist or two-strand twist before sleep, this helps maintain definition and reduces breakage when you wake. Also use a leave-in conditioner and seal with oil, especially on ends. Keep ends protected, tucked when sleeping with bonnet or scarf. Avoid manipulating it too much when it's dry, and try to limit combing or touching to avoid frizz and breakage. Don't go to bed with soaking wet hair. If possible, let it partially dry or wrap loosely to prevent damage. This small routine doesn't take long, but it makes a huge difference in preventing dryness and breakage. So weekly hair care is where you really reset your hair and scalp. So step 1 is to cleanse. Shampooing is important to remove dirt, sweat, and product buildup. Personally, I like to shampoo about twice a month or every 2 weeks. Washing every single week can be a lot of work for kinky hair, and it's not always necessary necessary, but listen to your hair and do what works best for you. For example, if I'm wearing a short-term protective style, or if my hair is just out, I stick to shampooing every 2 weeks. But if I'm in a long-term protective style, I don't always shampoo during that period. It really depends on what my hair needs at that time. Step 2 is to condition. Always follow up with a conditioner to restore softness and sleep. Step 3 is to deep condition. This is key for our kinky hair. So personally, I alternate between a deep conditioning treatment and a protein treatment depending on what my hair needs at that time. For your deep conditioners, you want to look out for products with ingredients like shea butter, aloe vera, honey, or strengthening proteins depending on your hair needs. You want to also leave that for about 20 to 30 minutes with a shower cap or even under gentle heat for deeper absorption. Step 4 is to moisturize and style. So after rinsing, lock in hydration with the LOC or LCO method, which is leave-in oil cream or leave-in cream and oil. Then style your hair in a way that suits your lifestyle. It can be twist, braid, puffs, or even stretched styles. So weekly care is basically about balance, cleansing, restoring moisture, and keeping your hair protected until the next wash day. Monthly hair care routines are for giving your hair that extra care and addressing long-term health. This is when you stop, pay attention, and really examine what your hair needs. So step 1 for your monthly hair care routine is to clarify once a month. Like strip away heavy products build up and give your hair and scalp strands a fresh start. Okay, step 2 is assessing your hair needs. This is the time to look closely at your hair. Is it breaking? Is it weak? Is it dry or brittle? Your observation will guide the treatment you choose. If your hair feels weak, breaking easily, or lacking strength, it's a sign you need a protein treatment. Protein helps rebuild the structure of your hair, making it stronger and more resilient. If your hair feels dry, brittle, not retaining moisture, it's time for a deep conditioning or moisturizing treatment. Look for rich masks that hydrate and soften your strands. Step 3 is to trim as needed. Check your strands. If you're splitting, knotting, or thinning, trim them. Healthy ends are essential for retaining length. When it comes to trims, you don't have to cut your hair every single month. Trimming is not required that often. For most naturals, the general recommendation is to trim every 3 to 4 months, but this can vary depending on your hair and your styling practices. For me personally, I usually trim about every 3 months. If I've been manipulating my hair a lot, like doing styles that put stress on my ends, I notice they get more fragile and I start seeing split ends sooner. So in those cases, I'll go ahead and trim earlier just to keep my ends healthy. On the other hand, when I've been gentle and not manipulating my hair too much, I can stick to my normal 3-month schedule without a problem. Dusting is another option you can use between trims. Dusting is basically when you lightly snip off the very tip of your hair without taking off too much length. It's helpful when you don't have a lot of split ends, but you want to keep your ends neat and prevent future damage. Think of dusting as a mini maintenance step to stretch the time between bigger trims. So overall, listen to your hair. If you see split end knots or your ends just don't feel healthy, it's time for a trim. But if your hair looks fine and you've been gentle, you can stick to the trimming every 3 to 4 months and dust in between when needed. So another thing you have to do is to take extra time to massage your scalp with oils. Get oil treatment or hot oil treatment monthly. Like you can make use of jojoba oil, rosemary oil, or even castor oil. So this not only stimulates growth but also nourishes your scalp health. Think of your monthly routine as a moment to reset your hair before putting it back into protective style or starting a new cycle. It's your chance to give your hair exactly what it needs so it stays strong and healthy over time. So guys, remember that that consistency matters more than product. Even a simple 2 or 3 step routine done regularly works better than expensive product you barely use. Always tailor your routine to your own hair. So I hope this guide helps you build a realistic routine that you can actually stick to. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in my next one.